Okay.
Hey, what's up you guys? This is Christian. I'm going to be doing my best to upload to In the Ref every Sunday. You've probably seen me on a couple of the montages or heard me in the crypto key opening. Just to note, this gameplay was recorded from theater. I will probably record from theater for a while because my brother and I share the Elgato. If I end up enjoying making videos as much as I hope, I'll probably buy my own down the road. Anyhow, this gameplay was with my VMP on the map Redwood. I was playing with my brother Skyline, or Link's gameplay, linked to his channel in the description below. Anyways, today I'm going to talk about basic Call of Duty tips that we've all heard about but often forget, or don't actually use while playing. First off is running cover to cover on the outside of the map. This is very important because you always have the advantage over the enemy if you use as much cover as possible. For me, I might run to cover in the beginning of the game, but then forget in the middle of the game and just start mindlessly running around rushing for kills. This is very bad because you get caught at a disadvantage and get many unnecessary deaths. While running cover to cover, you should be familiar with the map and run on the outside of the map. It's best to limit the directions enemies could approach you from. You can also make sure that you're using the mini-map as much as possible and always predict where the spawns and enemies are at. This comes more naturally, but it's very important to consciously do throughout the game. You should never run into the middle of the map unless you're confident your team has it under control, because there is usually multiple places enemies could kill you from. I personally only run into the center of the map for a few kills at a time, or for the objective of course. While running on the flank, oftentimes you only run into one or two enemies at a time from a more predictable area, giving you the advantage over the enemy. Another thing that I've always known about but often forget is to have my guns up around corners. I might do this more often in competitive play, but I forget how helpful it is in pubs. If you have your gun up and your enemy doesn't, you will have a split-second advantage over the enemy, and every second in COD matters. I've also noticed that when I focus on having my gun up, I will always check corners and lanes enemies are coming from more often and effortlessly. This has saved me many times. Next, we should focus on the streaks you should be using. My personal favorite for improving my KD or my tryhard setup is the Wraith, Hater, and R.A.P.S. However, you want to make sure that you're using score streaks that you can consistently get. For a week, I ran specifically the Wraith, the GI unit, and the Mothership. I would get them about 1 out of every 5 games, but even when I got them, I wouldn't get as many kills as the Hater R.A.P.S setup. But if you can't consistently get the streaks you're using, then they become useless. A great setup for the average player is the UAV, Hellstorm, and Talon, or you can use any variation streaks where one gives you an advantage towards earning the next one. Another important thing that is very obvious but often neglected is to improve your aim. Some people find it easy to start off a couple of games against bots to prime your aim for when you play online. Every shot could be a matter of getting the kill or dying, so it is very important that you focus on connecting your bullets and following throughout the shot. Oftentimes I find myself spraying side to side, and this tends to get me killed. My best gameplays are the ones where I have my accuracy on mind throughout the whole game. Also, it is very important to follow the enemy around corners with your shots, or don't stop shooting until you know whether they've gotten away or have been killed. As I'm shooting one person, I'll predict whether or not there are other enemies around, and if they are, I can more easily adjust my aim without letting go of the trigger. This will assure that you get the first shot on the other enemies as well. Many people find themselves struck between 2 enemies and just spray or overreact to the situation. It is very useful to determine who you can shoot first. Many times I will be aware of what weapons the enemies are using and decide which one could kill me faster in that specific situation. Also, I have to decide if they will both notice me. If not, I'll go for the one that is most likely to notice me. Lastly, it is important to play at a slower, more organized way when you are close to your streaks, as this will prevent you from being buzzkilled. Now, I'm not saying to camp in a corner until you've caught an unsuspecting enemy off guard. Waiting in a corner will get you killed in most cases. What you should be doing is playing smart and not being caught in a situation where you are at a disadvantage. It is important to fall back when you feel that you are going to become outnumbered or killed if you think you've given up your location. Many times when I'm flanking, I will fall back and go towards the enemy at a different route and to be less predictable. This helps to continue the flank and prevent enemies you've already killed from pursuing you. Anyways, I've known I've covered a lot in this video, so if you'd like me to cover anything specific in a following video, let me know. I'd also appreciate any feedback you'd like to give me since this is my first YouTube video. Also, at the end of each video, I will be featuring my favorite clip of the week. Until I get clips submitted to me, I'll be using my own clips or clips from my close friends. If you'd like to submit a clip from me, go ahead and email me at almostblind19@gmail.com or look in the description below. Anyways, that's all the time I've got for you, so go ahead and cue the weekly clip.
Securing Charlie. C secure.
Defensive systems online.